we all work really hard, and we all have to be able to balance our family and you know, our work at the same time, right? And that's what this high wire is that's us up on the high wire. But you know, our family, those are the support people. Those are the guys that are on the belayer. They're the belayers. They're on the belays, and they're helping us out and supporting us from the back. And we can't be as passionate and just excited in our jobs if we don't have their support. You know, and I think we, even like you've seen associates that we've lost from Match Firm because maybe their family was like, oh my gosh, you work too many hours and this and that, and they didn't have their back, and they didn't feel the passion and the excitement like we have. And so that's hard to be able to balance all that and really be 100% committed and excited when your spouse isn't there supporting you as well. So, you know, we don't have any more time in the day. That's what our clock is right here, right? So how do we balance it? And I thought it was really cool. We talked about ways of being able to involve them more and just be able to change it.
Yeah, so we talked specifically about some tactics around the welcome when somebody decides to join our company. Little things like a welcome letter to their family, not just to them. Potentially inviting family members to, say, like their first Saturday morning sales meeting. Whether or not they want to take you up on that or not, but if it's a new associate's first meeting, you know, allow them to invite their spouse or their kids or something like that in. That sort of led into the next thing that we talked about, which was just more family inclusion. Things like, you know, the summer selling kickoff meeting that we've been doing at the beginning of summer. And a lot of districts have really run with getting families involved in that. Just doing that more often, and it really doesn't cost us anything. Very, very minimal, you know, time and resources that we spend on that. But the idea of getting families more involved, instead of looking at this like this is my work life and this is my family life, and I'm trying to get more out of my work life and more out of my family life, but I'm not really combining the two things at all. But if you combine those two areas, then you're able to spend time in both. You're able to spend time both on your work life and your family life. So the idea of sort of being purposeful about doing that more often. Then celebrating special occasions, anniversaries. You know, on an employee's anniversary, instead of just sending a card to them, maybe you send a card that's addressed to their family, not just to them. So it's a little tweak in something that we already do. Or celebrating like spouses or children's birthdays, we can get that information. So it really wouldn't be that difficult for us to do that. And then finally, the sort of 800-pound gorilla, the elephant in the room, figuring out how to create a favorable scheduling system so that it may end up meaning that our stores are open more hours, but being able to give people to continue to follow through on the promise that Ken made 2 years ago at our national conference when he made the decision to close an hour early because it was the right thing to do for our families, to continue down that road and see if we can stretch that even more. Maybe we open earlier and close later, but we work shifted schedules within that time. So those are sort of some of the specific tactics that we talked about as it relates to how we can improve the lives of our families.
Good.